Welcome to the fourth instalment of this journey across the Premier League series, in which we drop a fascinating history behind all the grounds in the Premier League. So don't forget to absolutely marcy out that subscribe button to join the journey. It's all very much appreciated, and stick around as we talk about the exciting story behind the team whose fans you don't want to get stuck behind on a bus journey in Greece.
Can you hear a person sing? I can't hear a fucking...
When people now ask me if I like football, I say yes, I do like football, but not Burnley. Burnley can fuck off.
Burnley and their ground, Turf Moor. Our story starts back in the Middle Ages when Burnley was nothing more than a collection of farms, with the location of the present stadium sitting within an area of marshy common land, which is also known as a moor. The land on this moor was cut up into turf used in fires, and hey presto, you get the name of Turf Moor. Sporting activity would first come to Turf Moor in 1843, with Burnley Cricket Club setting up shop, and still do to the present day. It was in 1883, however, when a proper sport would arrive. The cricket club would lease 7 acres of land, inviting the local football team, Burnley FC, to move in next to the cricket pitch. The first game Burnley played at the ground was against Rottingstall, where they would get battered 6-3.
All this fucking I'm sorry and all this bullshit, that's a load of bollocks! You've got to fucking die to get 3 points!
As time went on, crowds would get bigger, so Burnley would build a wooden grandstand in terraces. In 1886, the ground would make history, being the first football ground to be visited by a member of the royal family, Prince Albert Victor, watching Burnley against Bolton Wanderers in a friendly match. A bit of royal history for you. Albert was actually second in line to the throne at the time, but would succumb to influenza 6 years later, meaning the crown would be passed on to the Queen's grandfather, King George V. Who says this video just has to be about football and engineering? The first Football League match at Turf Moor was on the 6th of October 1888, where Burnley and Bolton would meet again, with Burnley winning 4-1, after increasing beef between Burnley and the cricket club.
See up there, shut your mouth up, you. Come on, every weekend. Come on, there. You're a nice guy. Come on, come on.
They would eventually part ways, and the football club would eventually move into the ground of recently disbanded Burnley Union Star, which was on the north side of Turf Moor in 1891. After minor alterations to the ground, the club would look to expand the stadium significantly in the 1910s to a capacity of 50,000, which is almost equal to the town's male population at the time. The record attendance at Turf Moor was 54,775 for a third round FA Cup game against Huddersfield Town in February of 1924. In 1955 came the arrival of a new chairman called Bob Lord, who would oversee the club's most successful period, with the club winning the Division 1 title in the 1959-60 season and reaching the quarter-finals of the European Cup. On top of this, Lord would also help the club expand the stadium, having a stand named after him and providing the club with a purpose-built training complex, one of the first teams to do so.
Yes. See, in order to be at one with the ball, you must ultimately become the ball.
Ah, yeah.
Bring it up.
Increasing speed.
This way.
I think I'm going to be sick. How long will you have to stay in there?
Anywhere up to 2 or 3 hours, depending on the chance.
Yeah? You'll be alright in there.
This is perfectly normal.
Increasing speed.
Lord was a firm critic of televised football, banning games from being broadcasted at Turf Moor for 5 years, for which he argued television would damage and undermine attendances. His firm stance on the matter would result in what was to be known as the 3 PM blackout, where no games would be televised between 2:45 PM and 5:15 PM, with the only exception being the FA Cup final and this practice is still around to the present day. Following the Hillsborough disaster, Turf Moor would be converted into an all-seater stadium, taking the stadium's capacity to 21,944, which is equivalent to 1 seat for every 3 people in Burnley, the highest ratio in the Premier League. The stadium is the only ground in the whole of Britain to sell Benedictine. What on earth is Benedictine, you may ask? Well, it's a French liquor which soldiers from Burnley couldn't get enough of when they were stationed in France during the First World War.
That is bloody lovely!
The soldiers would combine it with hot water to keep warm in the trenches, which the locals would call Benny and Hot. In excess of 30 bottles are sold each match day at the stadium, making the football club one of the world's biggest sellers of Benedictine, so make sure you have some if you ever visit Turf Moor. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and subscribe, and join us as we carry on our journey across the Premier League. Next up, it's the new kings of the 4th place finish, and the pioneers of slipping in important moments of football matches.
Who has felt the pain of the semi-final defeats in the Champions League for Chelsea, has the chance to win the Champions League for Chelsea. And it's a chance that has passed him by, and the agony is there again.
Watch him slip, Martin.
That's right. Next time, it's Chelsea and their ground off Stamford Bridge. This has been a civil conversation, and I will see you in the next video.